Alright, so I thought I'd talk about Zack Snyder's next film projects. If you haven't seen Comic Movie Mark's video about it, go check them out. Totally Random also did a video about it. Go check their videos out. But I'm going to go ahead and give my 2 cents about Zack Snyder's next film project. And Zack Snyder kind of confirmed a few days ago that he was going to be making The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand, I think that's how you say her name, into a movie. And instantly, the Zack Snyder hate started again. Because for some reason, people hate Ayn Rand and her philosophy, and I don't understand that, really. It seems like the only people that truly don't like her philosophy are extreme leftist people that believe in a socialized world. We're all one, you know? It's all about the group. And what extreme left people don't understand is that free people are individuals, you know? We're not in a group. You can't put people in a group because then you get something like the Soviet Union where, you know, it's communism and everybody is on the same level. And that system killed, like, what, over 100 million people? So not exactly a good system that we should ever replicate again, clearly. And her philosophy, Ayn Rand, and I'm probably saying her name wrong, but I'm going to keep saying it that way. Her philosophy is objectivism, which has a lot to do with accepting reality for what it is and being selfish. And that's a really interesting philosophy when you think about it, because she's not saying be selfish and make other people's lives worse. That's not what she means. She means be selfish and find your own happiness and make sure your life is happy and make sure you live it to the fullest, because we only got one life. And wanting to help everybody and making sure everything is even for everybody is actually evil to her. Like, that's her philosophy. That kind of stuff is evil to her. And she comes from the Soviet Union, and she's seen what happens when people are not individuals and are just in a collective group and just see the state as the ultimate power. That's what she sees as evil. And, you know, there's a really good arguments to say that that's evil. And I'm not going to go as far as her to say that helping people is evil. I don't think that's entirely evil. I think you could get to a point where you care so much about the group and everything's got to be so fucking good for the group that you forget about the individual, and the individual ends up suffering because of the group. That's what I think she's really getting at, and that's something I can get behind. Because there's nothing worse to me than going along with a group because, you know, everyone else is doing it, and if you don't do the same thing, you're going to get ousted. You're going to get called out. You're going to be the outlier if you do anything different. I think that's real tyranny. You know, that's real oppression. And Ayn Rand was really against that. So I can understand why Zack Snyder is interested in her work. Obviously, I don't think Zack Snyder is a super leftist or super conservative right-wing nut job. You know, like, I don't think he's either, you know? I really think that he's a centrist because he rarely talks about politics, if ever. And if you look at all his movies, they're all about different political spectrums, you know? Like 300, you could see that as a straight-up right-wing conservative film, you know? And then you see Sucker Punch, and it feels like a straight-up left-wing, liberal, feminist empowerment movie, you know? Like, he's everywhere. And I think that's what makes him really smart, is that he can fucking tap into any political spectrum and make a great story out of it and teach like a lesson about it. And he announced that he was going to make The Fountainhead into a movie. Everyone's saying the last Fountainhead movie was like in the 40s or 50s. I don't know, I haven't seen it. But apparently the movie's about an architect, and he has to overcome like executives that are trying to get him to do one thing, but he wants to do his own thing. And it just sounds like a Zack Snyder person, you know? Like, that's what Fountainhead's about. It's about Zack Snyder and his struggle with the Warner Brothers executives, right? Like, that's what it sounds like it is. And I could see why that really interests Snyder. Because I really feel like he's an individual, and you can't really put him in a box. So, you know, that's probably another good reason why he's making this into a movie. But what's interesting is that he also responded to someone on Vero just yesterday, and they asked him if he was still working on The Last Photograph, since he is working on Fountainhead now, and he said yes, he is working on The Last Photograph still. So I'm going to assume that he is in the very early stages of Fountainhead and The Last Photograph, you know, like he's just writing outlines to scripts. He's just coming up with the basic stories and characters, and he has a couple different projects going because he doesn't know which one's going to get made into a movie yet. So he's working on both things right now. I was really interested in The Last Photograph because apparently it was supposed to be a war film of some kind, and I would love to see Zack Snyder do a war film of any kind. Like, Jesus Christ, that would be amazing. But if he wants to make a movie about an architect, that's fine with me too. I bet he's going to make an amazing movie. He's going to find some way to make architecture exciting, you know? And it's going to have a really big moral lesson at the end. And it's probably going to be modernized too. I can imagine that as well. It might be a period piece. It might be set in like the 50s or 40s. But I could see him putting it in modern day too. Because, I think the story can work just as well in 2018. So, that's his next project. And he's already getting hate on for it because everyone thinks he's a crazy Ayn Rand fanboy that just believes in objectivism and, hates helping other people. People are just jumping to that conclusion because he's making this movie. And that's fucking ridiculous. He's just making a movie that interests him. That's all he's done in his career, is make movies that interest him. That's it. He's never taken a political stance on anything, and that's probably a reason why the media always attacks him anyway, because he refuses to take a stand on either side. And, the leftist media, if you're not with them, you're against them, right? And the same thing with the right, I hate both sides, really. I really do. I'm a libertarian all the way. I'm in the center. I hate both sides. They don't give a fuck about you. They just want you to join their side. That's it. That's all they care about. And I have a feeling that Zack Snyder has a similar feeling about it, But anyway, that's it for now. Let me know what you think about Zack Snyder's next film project. Why do you think the media is attacking him already? Is it because he's Zack Snyder? Or is there another darker conspiracy afoot here? Let me know down below, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye.